Hey guys, it's Dr. Haverkorn, River City Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery in San Antonio, Texas. It is December 6th, 2018. I've already checked that. I don't know why I have to look again, but it's Thursday morning here in San Antonio. A little bit of rain, as you can see. And hopefully you've seen the video where I told you that, hey, we're going to open December 31st. And then, come 2019, we are going strong. So give us a call. Hopefully you've also seen the video where I talk a little bit about what the practice has to offer to you. I figured I'd make a video now just to tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm a 39-year-old oral surgeon in San Antonio, Texas. Got a medical degree and a dental degree. I'm licensed under both in the state of Texas. I was born in Freeport, Texas, down by Lake Jackson and the coast there south of Houston. My dad was an oral surgeon there. He trained in Houston. And in the early 80s, the Dow chemical plant there took a little downturn, and he and my mom decided that they would move up to Longview, Texas, where one of his buddies from Residency had a practice. And so my dad joined with that guy, Dr. Jay Gordon, in Longview, and we moved up there right before I turned 5. And they had East Texas Oral Maxillofacial Surgery. After a few years, they brought in Dr. Andy Mack, and he is still up there in Longview, Texas. And actually, his kids are dentists around there. And I saw recently his son is training to be an oral surgeon, the same place I did my training. So anyway, I grew up in Longview, Texas. That's what I call home. Went to Pine Tree High School. This is going to surprise you, but I was a little bit of a nerd in school. And so I did math and science competitions on the weekends. That was my thing. And as a consequence of that, I found out about something called the Texas Academy of Math and Science, Tams. It's in Denton, Texas, at the University of North Texas. Tams, it's considered a public school, if you will, in Texas. And about 200 kids a year are accepted into the program from anywhere in Texas. And if you get accepted in, then after your 10th grade year of high school, you move to Denton, you live in a dorm dedicated just to the Tams kids at the University of North Texas, and you attend college classes. It is different from taking AP classes in high school because you're living on the college campus and going to actual college classes with, the person you're sitting next to is a real college student, a real one. So I lived there, and instead of the 11th and 12th grade of high school at Pine Tree, I went to the Texas Academy of Math and Science. When I graduated from Tams in 97, I had like 60-something hours of college credit. I don't really remember exactly. And I stayed at the University of North Texas to get my bachelor's in science biology degree because at that time, I don't know if they still do it, North Texas gave a scholarship to Tams students who would stay at North Texas. So a lot of my classmates, man, they went off to some huge, big-name, schools like MIT and Carnegie Mellon and Yale and Harvard and places like that. And I did interview at a couple of places, but I couldn't say no to the scholarship. And I knew that I wanted to go to dental school, and I didn't think the undergrad university was all that important, and I still don't. And I'm not, that's not a dig at the University of North Texas. I think that's a fine school. So in 1999, around then, I applied for dental school. Now, because of Tams requiring me to take a few classes that didn't really count towards my ultimate major, I would have had to stay and done a 5th year of college to get my bachelor's. But I got accepted into the San Antonio Dental School, University of Texas San Antonio Dental School, without a bachelor's degree. So I started dental school in fall of 99, finished in 2003. After a year of dental school, I was able to transfer my classes back to the University of North Texas, and I got my bachelor's degree from them. And then, like I said, in 2003, I got my dental degree, my DDS from the San Antonio Dental School. And I told you, I wanted to be an oral surgeon. I knew I wanted to be an oral surgeon. I did, for a while, play with the idea of maybe going to medical school. I really thought that cardiothoracic surgery was pretty cool. I don't know why. I remember being in Tams and thinking that would be cool. Anyway, and I still think it's cool, but those guys work hard, trust me. And I'm kind of glad, I guess, that I didn't do that. I think it would still be cool, but I'm glad that I'm not necessarily doing what they do. Anyway, I was struggling a little bit about whether to go to medical or dental school, and then my dad says, hey, I don't know if you know, but a lot of oral surgeons go to medical school these days. Well, I didn't know that. And as soon as he told me that, I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to be an oral surgeon. I'll go to medical school, and then I got both, and I can do whatever I want. And I naively thought, oh, if I don't like oral surgery, I can still go on and be a cardiothoracic surgeon after oral surgery. Let me tell you, that would have been like a 50-year beatdown. So I didn't do that. But my dad also said, hey, you know, Shreveport, Louisiana, that little town down the road from us in Longview, there's actually a really good oral surgery program there. And there's a guy there named Dr. Ghali that you need to meet. I did not know that. I mean, growing up, we would go to Shreveport sometimes to go shopping or see a show or something, but most of the time we went to Dallas. So I just wasn't that familiar with Shreveport. I didn't even, you know, when you grow up around someplace, you don't think about it really. You know, it's home. It can't be anything special. Well, it turns out that Shreveport, Louisiana, has one of the, well, honestly, if I'm being honest, I'll tell you, the best oral surgery residency program in the country. And I say that because of the faculty members. Initially, when I went, it was Dave Kim, and then, Dr. Ghali. Dr. Sykes was there when I interviewed. Dr. Sykes left. Dr. Kim came in. We've got Dr. Palmieri now. But anyway, Dr. Ghali, you can look him up, read about him. He's got a fantastic resume, very well-known, internationally known oral surgeon. Dave Kim, when I was going through, was becoming a national and internationally known oral surgeon. And at this point, I think it's safe to say that he is one. Those guys have so much advanced training because of the extra stuff they did after oral surgery, that they just have a huge scope of practice, and they're able to teach all their residents that stuff. And when I started the program, we didn't have any fellows there. Now they do. So the first few years of my residency, we didn't have any fellows, and the residents were doing everything that the fellows do now. So I was super lucky to go check that program out when I was in dental school and then get accepted into that program. Right after we graduated from dental school, my wife and I got married, and I say we graduated. She graduated from medical school. I graduated from dental school. And then we had this interesting dilemma of how do you match into a residency program when one of you is a dentist and one of you is a medicine doctor, a physician. And we just took our chances, rolled the dice, and we both matched in Shreveport. She is a urologist now, and she is fellowship trained in female urology, is kind of the slang term for what her fellowship is. The full name is something, I'm going to mess this up, I'm sure, and I'll get in trouble, but it's something along the lines of like pelvic and reconstructive medicine and neurourology. So she sees a lot of patients with pelvic issues, which obviously means a whole lot of female patients. And then she sees patients that have neurologic problems related to urology. So people with multiple sclerosis, MS, people who have been paralyzed, quadriplegic, paraplegics, they all have bladder problems that she helps deal with. So that's her specialty. Rochelle Haverkorn, she's with Urology San Antonio here in San Antonio. You can look her up. But we matched into Shreveport. We did our residency there. She went on to fellowship at Parkland in Dallas, and she's from Plano. I liked Dallas when I lived up there, especially the Fort Worth side. So I joined a practice in Fort Worth and Weatherford right after residency. And then, after about 9 months, I switched to the Dallas side of things. And I worked in a practice in Plano and McKinney for a while. And really, we were just having a hard time making a business deal. We had a lot of student loan debt. I'll do a video about that another time. And this was right after the Great Recession. I finished residency in 2009. So it was hard for us to get a loan to buy into a practice or buy a practice. And, we finally just looked at each other and decided that, maybe the best thing to do is just for me to be employed for a while. And we got a phone call from an old friend about an opportunity at the VA in San Antonio. So we moved to San Antonio so that I could become the oral surgeon at the VA. The plan was for me to work there probably 5 years or so, pay off the loans, get in a better financial position to go open a practice. And let me tell you, I really liked working at the VA. I got to teach which I love to do. And I liked the patients, and actually I liked the staff in my clinic and in the dental department in general. They were great, but the VA as a whole is a drag. I mean, wow, it is hard to get stuff done. You feel like you're always fighting uphill. So as cool as it was to not have to worry about costs for patients, you could just offer them a service, and if they said yes, you'd do it. It just was tough. And so after 2 years, I was ready for a change, and thought I might move to Abilene, Texas. And at the last minute, I got a job offer in San Antonio to join a local group practice here. Um, so we did that, and I spent 5 years with those guys. And man, I decided to do this, to open River City and go out on my own. So here it is. I'm opening my own practice. We are committed to San Antonio. My wife and I, we own a house here. Our kids are in school here. Um, so as I said in the other video, I mean, we were in San Antonio, but we want to help. I want to help people all over the country. If our fees are competitive and will help you, give us a call. We will help you with arrangements. But anyway, so that's a little bit about my life story. I guess, I told you my dad was an oral surgeon. He's retired now. He lives here in San Antonio with us now. Got one sister. She's here in San Antonio with her husband and family. Her husband's a CEO of a company here in San Antonio, doing a great job. And my sister recently, quit working to raise her family, but she's got a great resume and history and been very successful in business too. Trying to think what else to tell you. I'm an amateur rancher. That's the truck, and you can see back here a little bit. So we raise belted Galloway cattle. If you don't know what those are, they're the Oreo cows. And I got belted Galloways because my wife saw them when she was in college at A&M and has thought they were pretty ever since. Now, fortunately, my wife and my father-in-law, who my in-laws also live here in San Antonio. Fortunately, my wife and my father-in-law have experience ranching. He had over 100 head of cattle when she was in high school and college. So they're teaching me how to be a cowboy, and I'm no longer all hat and no cattle. I've got no hat and cattle. Let me tell you something about freeloading cows, man. I need to figure out how to make a profit on these guys, because that's the whole point. But anyway, as far as like what I do in my free time, I tell people, look, I'm a husband and a dad. I don't have a ton of free time outside of taking care of the ranch, taking care of the family, and taking care of the business. But when I do have free time, I like to do a little bit of shooting. I grew up hunting. My dad was a big time hunter, and I've been fortunate to really go around the world on those kind of trips. But I don't really hunt that much anymore. I'm not opposed to it at all. I don't know. I just don't. I like to shoot more. I like to just target shoot. I like to fish. So we live pretty close to the coast, and I like to fish when I can, which usually means a few hours once a year. But I like to fish. I used to be big in doing triathlons. That like obviously is is not something I'm doing a lot of these days. But I, fool myself into thinking that one day I'll get back into that. What else do I do? I like working on the cars. You saw that video, so I fancy myself to be an amateur mechanic, very amateur. There's still a lot of stuff I don't know, but I love messing with mechanical stuff, messing with things. I think that's why I like surgery too. I'm messing with my hands. What else? I do stuff at the kids' school when we get a chance. I'm real interested in like current events and politics. And then I guess, completely missing out on telling you guys that I'm also real interested and active in my Christian faith, my wife and I and my family in general. Don't worry if you come to the office, I'm not going to like hold you down and spray holy water on you or something. That's not my job. But, my wife and I are very committed to that. I've had some big mistakes in my life. And done some things that I'm not proud of, but along the way, Jesus Christ pulled me out of the darkness and has made a big difference in my life. So that's important to us as well. And we're involved in the Christian Medical and Dental Association here in San Antonio. That's really important to me, but I don't want to like get people weirded out about it. So, and like I said, I'm not going to be shoving religion down your throat if you come to the office, but I'm happy to talk about it. Yeah, I guess that's about it. So anyway, now you know about me. Hope you're comfortable. Along the way, I'll be introducing you to some people that are important in my life. And, I'll let you meet all our staff members at the office. So, give us a call. I'd love to help you at 210-778-0002. Thanks. Bye.